This segment sponsored by Viking Psychiatry. If you are tired all the time and wondering why you're not bouncing back, well, this one is for you. It's time for Mental Health Matters with Viking Psychiatry. And joining me today is their owner, Sean Goddard. Hello, Sean.
Hi, good to see you.
Welcome back. Yes, good to see you as well. Okay, so there's a difference, right, between actually being burnt out and being tired. And I think sometimes people conflate the two and they're trying to figure out now, which one am I? So let's talk about that. What is the basis of being burnt out?
Yeah, so being a burnout is really just a chronic stage that focuses on typically one avenue of your life, right? That could be like your job, perhaps being a caregiver, right? And so whereas with depression often affects us across our life, right? In multiple areas. It might affect your job, your personal life, right? Your social life, all those types of things. Burnout is more commonly associated with one individual core aspect of your life and can have a strong productive measure towards becoming depressed, right? Because if you don't address it, then it can lead into depression that then affects all avenues of your life.
Okay, so I know like productivity is something that people go for, and that, makes us feel complete or fulfilled. Or if we're not productive or if we're unproductive, that could be quite stressful. So how does putting pressure on productivity really impact burnout?
Yeah, so we live now in a society that is focused on the hustle and the bustle, right? And on completing things and getting things done. And often people become so focused on that task completion, on that orientation, that they're not paying attention to what they're feeling, or maybe they're starting to feel guilt over the need to slow down, right? If you have a family member that is depending upon you, right, and you have all these things you need to get done for them, plus all the other things that you need to get done, you realize that you need to take a step back, and there's often guilt associated with taking that step back for that family member. And so often what we do is we end up instead taking a step back into in our own personal care. And that can be very true for work as well, right? I mean, as healthcare providers, for example, healthcare providers are an area that strongly struggles with burnout because they tie in so much energy and self-worth and motivation into taking care of their clients that they often forget to take care of themselves.
Yes, absolutely. And so what would you say some major signs of burnout are, and how people can seek help with it?
Yeah, I think it's important when it comes to burnout, we realize, number one, that being burnout isn't meaning you're weak or that there's something wrong with you, right? One of the things that we're really focusing on at Viking Psychiatry is positivity, right? And I think it's important to note that somebody who feels like they're burning out is to know that they are enough. Right? You are enough, and you can be enough, and you can be present in just who you are. But feeling burnout and recognizing burnout is just constantly feeling drained, right? Feeling this lack of energy, lack of desire, maybe something that you used to find joy in, right? Like your job, taking care of patients, or in your case, right, helping spread the news to Fort Wayne and surrounding area, and some really amazing community partners that we have in this area. Something that maybe you have a strong passion for, that all of a sudden when you wake up in the morning, you go, another day, right? There's this desire to just pick up the phone and say, I can't do it today, I can't be present. And that differentiation between burnout and depression, with depression, it's all of life, right? A lot of times, right? We wake up in the morning and not only do we not want to go to that job, but we don't want to shower, we don't want to be involved, right? We don't want to cook, we don't want to clean, we don't want to do any of those things. But with burnout, maybe you want to jump up and get out of bed and go play with your kids, right? Or go out with your bestie, or binge watch your favorite show, right? But with burnout, we just, on that soul thing, like a job, we just have no desire to be present.
Interesting. So if someone is watching and they're like, ooh, that sounds like me, what advice would you give them? Because is burnout something that goes away over time naturally? Is it something that you have to work for? Do people have to refine their joy?
Yeah, I liken it to a little bit like a sunburn, right? When you get a sunburn, you got to step away from the sun, right?
Yeah.
And allow yourself to heal and recover. And so with burnout, people need to recognize that it's okay. It's okay to be tired. It's okay to feel overwhelmed, but to recognize that you've been doing too much with maybe too little, right? You don't fill up your gas tank halfway and say, I'm going to drive to Indy on half a tank of gas, right? You make sure that you have enough fuel to get there. And sometimes we just don't have enough fuel, and that's okay.
Yeah.
We just need to take that break and take a step back and take some time committing to ourselves and recognizing that we're not a failure, that we are more than enough, and that we just need to take some time taking care of ourselves first.
Yeah.
And when we do that, when we allow ourselves to re-energize, recover, and refill that tank, then we're allowed to and much more capable to be very present for the people or the job or that person you're caring for. You can be present for them so much more. I talk to clients all the time who, spouses are dealing with dementia, right, and having to deal with care. And I talk to them about the plane, right, when the oxygen drops and you've got kids, who are you supposed to put it on first? Yourself, right? And sometimes we just need to schedule that time. We need to put that mask on, breathe deep, allow somebody else to step in, right, and help. And that's not a weakness, that's a strength, and recover and then be present again.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the sunburn example. That works. Thank you so much, Sean.
Thank you. Pleasure
for that information. Yes. And remember, mental health matters, and so do you, and you are not alone. So if you would like more information about Viking Psychiatry, we'll have their website listed below, and I'll see you after the break.
This segment sponsored by Viking Psychiatry.